Hello from Studio A with my unmade bed. Very early in the morning. Just haven't posted anything in a little while. Thought I'd share some brief thoughts on a quote from Martin Luther, which I will paraphrase. It's from his commentary or lectures on Galatians, and he basically makes the point that if the devil cannot oppose the gospel with the frontal assault of persecution and martyrdom, he'll do it in a more subtle way in the name of improving or advancing the gospel, right? So Satan comes as an angel of light. He's deceptive. He's clever. And so he seeks to, if he can't oppose the gospel, again, with a direct attack, he will subvert it. He will try to pervert it with false doctrine or a change of focus, a distraction, right? So how do we see that in recent history? In the Reformed world, we can see it with things like errors, like the new perspectives on Paul, the federal vision, things that are helping the gospel. Paul didn't get it right about justification. It's really more of a category pertaining to the church and membership in it than it is about individual salvation before God. There, it's better now, right? The gospel's better now. So people no longer look to Christ as their righteousness, as their only hope of salvation. They now are led astray by this false doctrine promoted by the new perspectives on Paul in a very high and academic way. Another example, the federal vision. Hey, listen, faith, we are saved by faith alone, but not by faith that is alone. And that's a true statement from the Reformation. Luther would say something to that effect, as well as Calvin and others. But here's how they handle it. We're saved by covenant faithfulness, by faith and works, by what Christ has done and by what you do. And it's covenant faithfulness. So it's there. We've fixed the apparent problem, the apparent conflict between Paul and James. I'm mocking a bit because, again, that's the devil. I mean, I love how just direct Luther is. That's the devil, and that's not the gospel. So, phooey on the federal vision. Another way, now the distraction from, or the idea of we're advancing the gospel, is, I think, all these debates over Christian nationalism. The focus is not on Christ. The focus is not on the mission of the church to get the gospel right and get the gospel out. The focus is on this cosplay kind of thing, like imagining that we'll have a new Christendom or that we'll attain Christian nationalism. Of course, it assumes some things about God's purposes for the state and what the role of the state is. The Bible's clear. The role of the state is obviously, well, I shouldn't say obviously, but 1 Peter 2 and Romans 13, it's an agent of God's wrath, not an agent of redemption. The church is God's redemptive institution established by Christ in this world. And our mission is to advance his kingdom of grace and look forward to the kingdom of glory. This, I guess, to use the choice phrase of theologian Meredith Kline, he said things like postmillennialism, theonomy, and I think Christian nationalism jump the eschatological gun. We want a Christian world before the return of Christ and before the renovation of all things, before the new heavens and the new earth. Anyway, Satan's a deceiver. He's very clever. He's been at this for a very long time. So whether it's the new perspectives on Paul, which are now pretty dated, I guess, in academic circles, the federal vision, which is still around, people say, oh, I don't think the federal vision's an issue anymore. Oh, it is. It's in correct churches, and it's probably still under the tent in some NAPARC congregations. And the Christian nationalism debate, which is just a grand distraction that Satan would have us focus on instead of focusing on getting the gospel right and getting the gospel out by way of church planting, by way of evangelism, by way of preaching Christ and Him crucified, Lord's Day to Lord's Day, by way of focusing on the ordinary means of grace, word and sacraments, which Christ has appointed for the ingathering and the upbuilding of His elect from every tribe, nation, and tongue. So that's my little early morning rant. Again, don't tell my wife that I posted this video with an unmade bed behind me. Anyway, thanks for watching.